So, do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question.
Right.
I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine.
Right.
I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean?
Any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK.
So, you know, he wanted, and then you gotta see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac.
50 Cent's Diddy documentary previously rattled the civilization by disclosing volatile fresh assertions regarding Sean Diddy Combs, involving his purported association with the slayings of Tupac and Biggie. However, currently, humorist Katt Williams is stepping into the limelight with even more bombshell disclosures concerning Tupac Shakur's fatality that Netflix reportedly declined to incorporate in Sean Combs' The Reckoning. This might transform how the globe perceives what was remained on the editing chamber floor. Williams has perpetually been an outspoken detractor of Diddy. In a frank consultation earlier this cycle, he asserted he rejected substantial currency merely to bypass becoming entangled in Diddy's environment and signaled he has gathered intelligence, comprehension, and your mysteries over epochs that all falsehoods shall be revealed. Now, supporters maintain that incorporates never broadcasted film and testimony pertaining to Tupac's homicide. Substance that would have transported the Netflix sequence into a much gloomier installment of hip-hop chronology. The formal Netflix documentary brushed upon alleged connections between Diddy and the fatalities of Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G., showcasing interviews and historical content that suggested Combs possessed profound links to brutal occurrences in the 1990s. But according to 50 Cent himself, not everything reached into the concluding edit. He has hinted that there exist approximately 140 hours of footage remaining, including material with inflammatory substance, like Combs's private associations with individuals linked to Tupac's circle that did not integrate into the 4-episode structure. One fragment of unviewed content that 50 explicitly cited involves Diddy fathering a minor with a female previously connected with Tupac, a detail that was verified, but eventually omitted for duration. Williams asserts his individual collection extends even further, and that the realities he possesses would restructure the account entirely, if ever distributed. He implied those who have survived through these periods understand there is additional beneath the exterior, far more than what a solitary 4-part Netflix series could encompass. Analysts contend the documentary already expanded into contentious domain, and Netflix has protected its judicial entitlement to the footage utilized. But enthusiasts now speculate if Williams' assertions are genuine. And there is film binding Diddy nearer to Tupac's passing. Could Installment 2 or a distinct launch finally reveal it? This is one perspective of the narrative that many believe was too combustible to display until currently.
On that day, at 19-ish years old, boom, he becomes famous. Wow. And he creates that rumor reputation of he can put the biggest parties in the world and people show up. The biggest promoter. So that became a way where his image got bigger and bigger and bigger with this. And then when you continue, there's a part with what he didn't like is that Tupac and Biggie started getting very close because Tupac would allow Biggie to open for him. So you guys have to realize, I had Greg Kading on the show 10 years ago. Greg Kading is the guy that was the lead investigator of Tupac. He was in the documentary as well. He was investigating what happened to, he was investigating what happened to, and Rob, if you can pull up the podcast with he and I, and the way I did it on the board, and I put all the suspects of who it could have been. And then he gets the recording and shows with Keefe D. Keefe D is the guy that was the boss who Diddy allegedly offered $1 million. They said, I'll take $1 million to take both of them out. So, and he's saying the recording, he's saying it to the feds. So right here, if you zoom in on this list, Rob, can you zoom in on the list? Okay. So if you zoom in, you see the bottom 3 names. You see the bottom 3 names right there?
On the right?
By his right hand.
Tupac?
Right there. Yeah, that's Keefe D is right in the middle.
Okay.
The one to the left is the guy that stole one of the Death Row Records chains.
Oh.
Zoom in a little bit. You can't do it? Okay, it's all good. No worries. So the guy in the middle is the guy that's having a conversation who says, yeah, he offered us $1 million to take him out. Keefe D. And so they try to get the money. They're not able to kill both because he wanted them to kill both Suge and Pac.
In the car?
They only kill Pac, and they don't kill Suge. So allegedly, they got paid $500,000. The $500,000 was paid to the guy on the right, all the way to the right. You see the guy on the right?
Corey.
He's the one allegedly that got the $500,000, and that money never went to Keefe D or anybody else. The guy on the left is the one that stole the
chain,
the chain, which was a Death Row Records chain. That's a way of saying I got your rapper's chain, because if you were one of the guys, Death Row. So long story short, this whole thing isn't recording that he said this. So what does Diddy do? Rob, can you pull up this song? It's a song called Black Rob, featuring Mark Curry and Mario Winans. If you can just type in lyrics, okay? So he gets $1 million. Can you go to the lyrics? And Diddy's in the lyrics when he gets started. Go a little bit lower. Boom, boom. Muscle.
See it in this game?
Can you type in the word in there, Rob? Nice guy. Type Control F, nice guy. Okay, right there. Look at it. It's 1999. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Been nice too long. I'm just going to start making y'all
blank
disappear. Man, first I'm going to take your records off the radio. Then I'm going to erase your social security number. Take your birth certificate out flies. I'm going to do your whole effing family. Ain't nothing but mercy. And then, by the way, in the lyrics, he says, I'll drop $1 million on your head to erase you. Can you type in, I'll drop $1 million, just put Control F. Just go to Google and type this out. I'll drop $1 million on your head. I'll drop $1 million on your head, and just put Diddy next to it. Right there. See, it says Black Rob. What song came up?
Phrase.
I'll drop $1 million on your head. Erase you and your whole family, biatch.
Wow.
He's saying it in the song on what he did to get rid of Tupac.
What an idiot.
He's saying this like that is the level of criminality to say, I'm going to get away with it, right? One day I'm at an NBA game. This was 2 years ago, right before he got arrested. I had done like 3 videos on Diddy. He's at a game with one of his girls. He sees me, I see him. Listen, if there's a guy in the hip-hop world I cannot stand, is this guy. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. And then we're locked in. Vinny, when I tell you we're locked in eye to eye, 2 minutes.
And you're not breaking.
Neither one of us are breaking.
And
okay?
It's across the...
Look, you don't understand. To me, Tupac was as a young kid coming up, he played a very big role as
in your painting.
Yeah, he's
the most influential people in your life.
To me, that guy was so to me, you took this guy out. I investigated a lot of people based on the reports and things that we talked to a lot of different people. It always comes back to Diddy.
Matters assume a volatile shift when Gene Deal enters back into the dialogue and produces one of his most astonishing assertions thus far. This instance binding Diddy, Tupac, and a lengthy catalogue of females into one knotted account that enthusiasts are still attempting to comprehend. According to Gene, the friction between Diddy and Tupac was not solely regarding melody, authority, or East Coast, West Coast strategy. He implies it extended much further and much more intimate. Gene depicts a scenario of envy disguised as competition, asserting Diddy was obsessed with Tupac's way of living, his sway, and particularly the individuals surrounding him. In Gene's narration, whenever Tupac was associated with a female, Diddy eventually surfaced in the identical sphere. He does not merely signal at chance. He structures it as a motif that recurred repeatedly. What renders Gene's assertions even more disturbing is how he links this conduct to Diddy's mentality during that era. He portrays a peculiar mixture of respect and bitterness where hostility and fixation coexisted side by side. Gene highlights instances where Diddy purportedly mirrored Tupac, not solely in associations, but in communal discourses, dialect, and even aspiration, provoking inquiries regarding whether rivalry gradually transformed into mimicry. Then arrives the portion that genuinely obscures the boundaries. Gene recollects instances that defied a long-maintained conviction that the East Coast-West Coast conflict was perpetually as antagonistic as it seemed. He characterizes meetings where Diddy, Tupac, and even Suge Knight intersected, traded remarks, and seemed much more friendly than the communal account ever indicated.
Get into this Tupac stuff. Now, we all know Diddy and the feud with Biggie and everything, but they were saying that Diddy was really, really jealous of Biggie and Tupac's relationship.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And Kirk Burroughs, the president of Bad Boy, he knew Puff real well. Real well. Real well. So he made those accusations, and then you could see it too. You could see like every girl that Pop talked to. Sally Richardson, you know what I'm saying? Diddy got with her. Sarah Chapman, Diddy got with her. You understand? The list goes on and on and on. You understand? If he seen Pac with him, he wanted him. If he saw Pac wear it, he wanted to have it. You understand? Pac beat him out of the part for Bishop and Juice. You understand? Puff wanted that part too. He auditioned for that part too. You understand? People may not tell y'all that, but he auditioned for that part too. So, he wanted, and then you gotta see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac. For instance, did you see that Grammy speech he did?
I seen quite a few speeches from Diddy. I don't remember.
Hey, listen to the verbiage in there. He's saying the same stuff Pac was saying.
Oh, wow.
The same. If people go back, he's saying the same stuff with Pac. Why? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He did have he disliked Pac, but he also loved him in certain things. It's a strange, weird. It's a strange, weird, I guess, relationship that they had, bro.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. Because I even interviewed Reggie, and like Suge and Diddy were cool too. Even when their beef was going on, I heard they were still communicating and like not. I don't know, man. It was like this weird dynamic that they had.
Y'all thought it was an East Coast, West Coast war. One day we was behind a house of blues. You hear me? We was driving through that. We had a reporter in the car. He was either from Billboard or he was from, what's that other big magazine? Rolling Stones. It may have been Rolling Stones. He's in the car with me. Riz is on the driver's side. Riz is on the passenger side in the back. The reporter's in the middle. I'm on the driver's side in the back. You got Kenny driving, Puff is in the front. We see Suge and Tupac, right? Pac is in a white Rolls Royce convertible. Suge is in a red Rolls Royce convertible. It's about a House of Blues. Behind the House of Blues is about. In the afternoon, it wasn't even late at night or nothing like that. So Puff rolled up to Pac. We rolled up to Pac, and Puff said, "Yo, what up, Pac?" Pac looked at that nigga and turned his head and got back on his phone. My man Riz said, "Speak to Suge. Suge is the boss. Speak to Suge." Puff we roll up to Suge car. Yo, what up, Suge? Nothing much. What's happening? He said, "Yo, man, we got any problems? You know if we got any problems out here?" Suge said, "I don't know no problems y'all got out here." You understand what I'm saying? He said, "We good?" He said, "Yeah, I guess y'all good." You know what I'm saying? You good? They talking like that. We drive off. So, did they talk? Yeah, they talked. I seen Pac talk to Puff after that Quad Studio thing. We was in the Roxy. Pac arm was in a sling. Pac arm was in a sling or something like that. A dude lit a cigarette for Pac. We was in the Roxy downtown. Him and Puff was talking like they was talking.
Damn.
So it's a crazy dynamics, but it is what it is, bro.
Augmenting to all of this, what Katt Williams has been signaling for epochs suddenly renders the narrative feel even more grave. It is nearly dreamlike to contemplate that as far back as 2014, almost a decade preceding the contemporary Diddy documentary releasing, Katt was already gesturing toward associations between Diddy and Tupac that numerous individuals did not desire to discuss publicly. In the footage he shared back then, Katt did not merely release a jest or a haphazard hearsay. Instead, he overtly implied that there existed profounder bonds between Diddy and Tupac's sphere long before the Notorious. Unlike superficial spectators or digital speculators, Katt was not remarking on the conflict from a remote location. He was communicating from a position where he distinctly trusted there were realities that others were either terrified to utter or too proximate to the account to disclose.
So, have you heard from Suge?
Yes.
How's he holding up?
Well, first of all, I was there that night. I was with Suge.
Oh, you were with him. Okay. Do you have any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother nobody, does it? Certainly doesn't bother me.
So,
shout outs to the nobodies of the world.
You're predicting this is going to be a nobody situation.
I'm making no predictions whatsoever. I'm saying the police said they arrested the shooters, then said they didn't arrest the shooters. But I was there, so I know that 20 minutes after people were laying down on the ground shot, no police had entered the club yet.
Did Suge do anything to provoke this, or?
Nobody in the world has ever provoked themselves being shot.
That's true.
There's only two ways to get shot. Either you believe you're somewhere where a person can't have a gun, therefore making you safe, you know, like an airport or a club that restricts entrance, and a situation where the person already has the gun out and you're standing in front of somebody. Now, if you're an idiot, you can believe this was about Suge Knight, but Suge Knight has been accessible every day of his life for 20 years. We know who it was aimed at, we know whose life he saved, and we know why they won't talk about it. But now the rumor mill would tell you, yeah, see, the same thing Suge was doing to Katt, he was trying to do to Chris. They're forgetting something. Suge has never managed me.
What about the reports that this was gang-related, that these were two gang members that thought they did it in spite of Tupac?
If it was gang-related, then why didn't it happen thoroughly? You see, there's parts of this story that just don't seem to make sense.
Right.
You're saying it was gang-related, so that means somebody's gang was shooting at somebody's gang, and then somebody's gang didn't shoot back. That's your story? That's not really how gang stuff works, is it?
For durations, one phrase from Katt Williams has obsessed hip-hop enthusiasts when he remarked, "No one would ever be maintained responsible." Back then, the inquiry persisted everywhere. Whom was he discussing? The authorities, the framework, or someone much nearer to the nucleus of the account? At that period, majority individuals presumed it was an extensive condemnation of legal enforcement and profession muteness. But currently, with Katt overtly validating that he was alluding to Diddy, that aged remark strikes very distinctly. What renders this instant feel even weightier is how flawlessly it aligns with Tupac's individual remarks. A reappeared 1995 consultation demonstrates Pac speaking simply yet cautiously regarding his conviction that Diddy was entangled in the 1994 Quad Studios gunfire. Tupac did not designate titles carelessly. He was intentional. "I possess evidence," he remarked before appending. "It is between myself and him and solely he understands." That was not suspicion. That was someone selecting his expressions because he recognized how perilous the reality could be. Pac also characterized the frightening consequences of the gunfire, how no one neared him, how recognizable visages bypassed ocular connection, and how Puff was remaining behind. Those specifics signify because they replicate Katt's perspective regarding muteness being shielding. Out this footage, there exist so many justifications why individuals credit Sean Diddy Combs performed a part in the sequence of occurrences that guided to Tupac Shakur's fatality. The narrative follows back to the middle 1990s when pressures between East Coast and West Coast hip-hop were detonating. At the nucleus were Diddy, his intimate associate, the Notorious B.I.G., and Death Row Records chief Suge Knight, a personality dreaded for his brutal status and purported syndicate connections. Publicly, the competition heightened after Suge Knight ridiculed Diddy upon platform at an accolades presentation, suggesting that performers on Bad Boy performed in recordings. While Diddy asserted Suge remarked it was not regarding him, their association distinctly worsened, subsequently bursting into physical clashes involving their retinues, which incorporated Crips and Bloods. Approximately the identical period, Tupac was struck 5 instances in a 1994 heist at Quad Studios in New York. Biggie and Diddy were existing in the edifice and Tupac became persuaded they recognized the assault was approaching. While he subsequently confessed he could not demonstrate it, the distrust profoundly influenced him and assisted splintering the hip-hop universe into East against West factions. Matters intensified after Biggie distributed Who Shot Ya, which Tupac construed as ridiculing the gunfire. Tupac then partnered with Suge Knight, who compensated his bond and recruited him to Death Row. Tupac documented Hit 'em Up, one of the most hostile insult paths perpetually, directly assaulting Biggie, Diddy, and Bad Boy Records. According to the account, a duplicate of the melody reached Diddy preceding distribution, augmenting anxieties regarding Tupac's expanding rage and sway. Introduced Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a Crips commander who subsequently confessed to authorities that he organized the Las Vegas drive-by gunfire that slew Tupac in 1996. Keefe D. asserted Diddy, terrified of Suge Knight and now regarding Tupac as a supplemental menace, offered currency for Suge's fatality with Tupac incorporated as secondary harm. During a combat weekend in Las Vegas, pressures overflowed after Tupac and Suge physically attacked Keefe D.'s kinsman. Later that evening, the gunfire occurred, slaying Tupac. Keefe remarks he was never compensated and eventually assisted with officials. Lapped probes subsequently declared his account corresponded with their discoveries, but the mission group was dissolved, and attorneys remarked there was not sufficient immediate proof to formally link Diddy to the felony. Notwithstanding decades of hisses, verses, and internal assertions, Diddy was never indicted. Nonetheless, many within the profession regard it the poorest guarded mystery in hip-hop chronology. Here is what Suge had to state regarding the entire conflict.
At the same time, Katt is who he is, and if you really want to understand Katt, he on tour right now. Go buy one tickets per row, and you're gonna hear it all. He's gonna tell the truth. So that's the best way to find out about Track.
Even from there, you're selling tickets. You can't, no matter where you're selling. No, the only reason I asked this question is because when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, and I know you played in the NFL before. When he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, everywhere everybody was talking, but also people were quiet. I want to play one of the clips, Rob. If you can play the clip of what Katt said to Shannon Sharpe about Diddy. I just want you to hear this since you haven't heard the whole thing. This is just a snippet of what Katt said about Diddy. Go for it.
Big events is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Now, when this came out, he went after, Diddy. He went after TDG. He went after a lot of people in the space. Had you Katt and Diddy, did you guys ever party together, three of you guys? I know you and Diddy spent some time together, but did you, Katt, and Diddy ever spend time together?
I'm not gonna say I never had a threesome. I damn sure ain't had no threesome with no men. So you talking about have me and
no, that's not what I'm asking.
Threesome hung out together. What you trying to do? I mean, have you said, not me.
Well, listen, that is becoming every day something new pops up where it's no longer a surprise nowadays.
And your telephone number monitored and recorded.
But I guess the question I'm asking is, did you, Katt, and did you, Diddy, and Katt ever hang out where? And the reason why I'm asking this, where you actually personally witnessed some of the accusations that Diddy is having, saying the fact that he had cameras in the room.
This okay. But this is the thing I'm gonna tell you. We from two different worlds. Number one, him and I. Number two, I'm the guy they didn't want to invite to those parties. And I'm glad of it. I've never been happy to be left out of my life. But at the same time, I'm not the guy who's in for Puffy's downfall. But I am the guy who supports the victims who got victimized, right? But at the same time, whatever the situation is, everybody knows it's wrong. And I don't think he can get punished as hard as a regular person because, you know, he used to be an FBI informant for a long time, they say. So I'm quite sure that play a role.
You're saying...
Asking the question, me, Katt, and Puffy, we had no reason to be hanging out. Me and Katt and not me and Puffy. So that's that.
Got it. So you're saying Diddy's an FBI informant and he's been one for many years.
How would they say? Nothing ever happens, but it's still, like I say, it ain't my business. Well, I said that because anybody else got it up quick, fast, in a hurry. But, you know, the most important thing about this is that with me, you got some people will have a opinion on something either they weren't a part of or they wasn't there. And I never want to be that type of person because, you know, there's only so many people who was around, who had Tupac or seen Tupac or talked to Tupac. And I feel that way because I often hear so many Tupac stories from people who never met him, people who wasn't around. Then you had the ones that if they worked at McDonald's and they took Tupac orders, they don't mean they know Tupac. Or you doing security or wherever, that don't mean you know the man. All these people been benefiting and capitalizing on trying to put the man down or lie on him or tell some stories that they wasn't there or they know anything about. Because I don't think none of these people psychic. And I'm not. You know what happened to the last psychic bitch? She ended up, whoever her name was, the fake roster boys, you know what happened to her when it all went bad. So I don't like to speculate. So I just tell the truth how it is.
Even with epochs of Hisse's reappeared consultations and revitalized focus upon Tupac Shakur slaying, Gene Deal preserves a steady and pragmatic stance. Lacking transparent bodily proof, there exists no judicial route to demonstrating Sean Diddy Combs was accountable for the gunfire. Discussing Keefe D.S. approaching litigation, Deal elucidates that conjecture solely is insufficient to guarantee a verdict, particularly in a homicide lawsuit of this scale. According to Gene Deal, Keefe's protection is constructed upon the assertion that Puffy placed a contract out on Tupac and Suge Knight. But Deal emphasizes that tribunals do not function on narratives or hypotheses. As he expresses it, in a slaying trial, you cannot exclusively utilize indirect proof. There must be bodily evidence such as records, validated dealings, ocular testimony that survives beneath examination. Currently, Deal contends, none of that conclusively exists. Gene also highlights the vital vulnerabilities in the lawsuit. There is no demonstrated currency path, no payment straightaway binding Puffy to Keefe D, and no dependable observer prepared to declare that they individually witnessed or perceived a contract being commanded. He also provokes uncertainties regarding Keefe D's trustworthiness, observing that he has narrated numerous interpretations of the account over the cycles, which protective attorneys shall utilize to deconstruct his assertions upon the podium.
With a murder trial, you can't only use circumstantial evidence. You have to have some kind of physical evidence. There's no physical evidence that Keefe D killed or had something to do with Pac's death. There's circumstantial evidence. There's people that could probably testify or what somebody told them or heard. So now, Keefe D, lawyers and them did a great job when they did trial by judge. Because the judge is looking for physical evidence. What ties Keefe D to Puff? What ties Keefe D to the murder of Tupac? And how could they prove that either one of them has something to do with it? Somebody would have to get on the stand and say that I saw him, he told me, and they want to have to believe them. So, do they believe Keefe D? If he told a lot of different stories, you got to realize he may have told more than one or two stories, because he tell that story now. What about the stories he told prior to this? You understand what I'm saying? So you're going to look at that. You're going to look at, okay, did he get the money? Where's the money at? Who got the money? Who wrote the check? Who paid the money? Where did it come from? When did it come from? It's a lot of mitigating circumstances in that whole case that is going to be hard to prove. You could easily say anything, but you got to look at that. Keefe D defense is going to say, okay, this was a gang situation. Then you hear, Suge telling Pac on one of the things that he told Pac, yo, listen to me, bruh, you done got involved into some gang stuff now, and things might be different. You understand? Because gangs might be involved now. Yo, bro, let me tell you, back in the day, I was there. Let me just say, and what I mean I was there is that, don't you know that a lot of people was coming up dead? There was so many shootings out of LA about crazy. It's a lot of people that came up dead behind that. The Bloods was laying people down. But behind Pac getting shot. It was a big, it sparked a big gang war out there. So, if they want to pull Diddy into that, they gotta mitigate circumstantial evidence. Anybody could be a witness for you, but what can they prove? Somebody's gonna have to say, I heard this conversation. This was a handshake or a nod or something went down, and it's gonna be hard to prove. It's gonna be hard to prove. Unless they follow the money. They were always saying stuff and they try to make it seem like I said it. I never said it. All I said was I saw a check for $1 million, right? Eric Von Zip had a check for $1 million, and he said he got it from Al Heyman. Not Al Heyman. What's the dude's name? He was married to Gladys Knight. Black Ground Records. Barry Hankerson. And he said, I got this check from Barry Hankerson and what's the other dude's name? Jimmy Henchman. And it's for me selling my record label to him. I said, I didn't know you had a record label. When he showed us, and I said us the check. When he showed us the check, it wasn't only me. I said, dog, when did you get a record label? That's what I said to my man.
Therefore, what do you speculate? Is this genuinely a scenario of the reality being interred because there exists no document path? Or do you credit the genuine proof has simply never perceived the illumination of day? Permit us to understand in the remarks underneath. And if you admire this footage, Strike that membership control so that you never omit any fresh recordings. And until then, kin, preserve it authentic.